Hey, folks, welcome back to Common Sense and Logic.
Howdy, I'm Caesar.
I'm Ronnie, and thanks for tuning in again to another episode.
Yes, sir.
Hope you guys are liking this. We see some likes, but we want more likes, opinions, comments.
Feedback. We want to see what the feedback is.
Yeah, help us out. Hopefully, we can keep this going. So, Common Sense and Logic. What is that, Caesar?
Common sense is just something that everybody has. Everybody should have, and if you don't, that's what we're here for. Just to
That's where they're lost, right?
well, they're lost, and we're here to discuss different topics, and what common sense says, and then just use logical thinking to find a middle ground where it makes sense to everybody.
Right. So it's in the name, right? Common sense, common, what most people have in common, right? And logic, whatever, it's logical to do or not to do. But if you're still not understanding, we're going to get into it right now. And now remember, this is not one of those channels that's going to provide you all kinds of information, right? Or opinions or thinking, right? So your opinions out there don't mean jack. The opinions from the news don't mean jack. Our opinions don't mean jack. Because it's not about that. It's about coming to the middle ground, like you said, and making sense of whatever it is that we're talking about. So, what you got for today?
Well, we talked about what did we talk about last time? We talked about American traditional values. Let's talk about something else together. What about the landing on the moon?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good one. Landing on the moon. Who's been there, and who was first? And do we believe the information that we have, right?
Enough, yeah, to show that someone actually
has been
landed
up there
on the moon, right?
Yeah. Okay, so why don't you kick it off, man, and let us know what you're thinking about that. Do you believe we have? Are you in the middle?
Right. Let me just start off with growing up. Growing up, I always did believe it. I really didn't. I took it for their word that we did land on the moon.
Like most of us did.
Obviously, as you get older, you start questioning. Was it real? Just based on what other people say. But yeah, growing up, I was I just figured it was real. But now you start thinking about it, like, well, what's going on? So I'm kind of in the middle. I'm not sure.
In between, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure if to believe or not, because there are some different facts about whether we landed on the moon back in 1969 or not.
Yeah, so what are the facts that we have, though? Besides what the media and the government told us?
Yeah.
Are those real facts?
For I know, other countries have taken pictures of our flag on the moon. That's
Okay.
on the moon.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean this is a flag that was planted back in 1969. It could have been planted more recent.
Yeah.
So who knows, as far as was the actual moon landing in 1969, was it real or not,
Yeah, so I was putting some thinking into that, a few years ago,
Right.
and my common sense and logic. I have these talks with different people that
Okay.
actually do believe that we have gone to the moon, and my common sense, man, tells me that that's almost impossible to do.
Okay.
Yeah, because this happened. When did that happen? In the late 60s?
69, I believe. Was the
69,
landing on
right?
the moon,
So why haven't we gone back to it?
yeah. Right.
That's the core of my doubt about it. That's my
Right.
my common sense and logic. Like, if we did it way back then, when we didn't have the technology that we do have now, why is it that we haven't been up there again?
Yeah, so I'm not too familiar with aerospace or whatever, all that
No, yeah,
stuff. Have we not attempted to go back? I mean, I don't know.
no, we haven't.
So since 1969, we've never sent an astronaut back to the moon, is what you're saying?
Yeah, I think they have, or they never made it.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're saying that they've gone to other planets, other.
Into space and other
Yeah.
stuff, but so going back to the moon, it hasn't happened, you're saying?
It hasn't happened
Since.
since then. No,
Okay.
there's talks that they're gonna attempt to, and they're getting close to it.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% familiar with it too, because again, we're talking about the first landing, right?
Yeah.
So let's stick to that, because that was the thing that they told us that they done it before.
Right.
So even if we've been there now, why is it that we're doing it until now?
Like I said, I mean, I don't know if we attempted to go back. I'm
Right,
going off
so-
of what you're saying.
It's more recent that these attempts have been made.
Okay.
So it's never been done again since the first time they said they did it.
Yeah, well, that is kind of weird if it hasn't. I mean, I haven't done research into it. Like,
Yeah.
when we talk about stuff, I really don't put into any research. I just go off of what what I hear, what I've read in the past, what I've heard in school. But what do you call it? Yeah, if we haven't gone back since, it is pretty strange. You know, what are we? 55 years later?
Yeah.
56 years later,
56, yeah.
and technology has advanced so much. Why haven't we gone back to the moon if that's the case?
Yeah. So my common sense and logic questions that, like, to begin with, how is it that if we did go up there, how is it that they got up there to begin with? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know about science, right? But my common sense and logic would be like, how do you find out what kind of chemicals and fuel do you need to go up there?
Yeah, well, if
I mean-
we launched it from here, I understand they probably figured it out. But once they were on the moon, how did they figure it out, or have enough resources to actually launch back out? You know, that is kind of strange.
Right, because when they take off, they need a big ass rocket, right?
Yeah.
With a lot of force.
Exactly.
So once they get to the moon,
How
And
do they
then-
get that rocket back? Because obviously, the rocket and the space shuttle,
Exactly.
the ship, separates
yeah,
during launching. So when they landed on the moon, how do they launch back out?
how did that capsule get back,
Yeah,
right?
how did that capsule get back? I haven't done research, so I don't know. Maybe it's on Google. Maybe I should read into it. I mean, I don't know.
Google it.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't make any sense. Like, so you have to have this big rocket to go up there,
Yeah,
and then once you land on the moon, like you,
you don't
said,
have it anymore.
you don't have it anymore. You got the small capsule,
Yeah,
and then that capsule, what does it do? Does it kind of like just hop off the moon and come back to Earth?
I doubt it. I mean, it needs another rocket to get back here. But like I said, I haven't done research, so I might want to look into like how did they get back over here.
Yeah,
And I'm sure it should show an explanation. I'm sure they're not going to leave it without an explanation.
right. I mean, they're gonna give us their explanation, kind of
Right.
like they did with the flag, right? Because a lot of people question the flag, like, well, if there's no gravity up there, why? How come there's no air either?
Uh-huh.
Why was the flag waving,
Mhm.
right? So for a long time they couldn't explain that until someone said, "Well, listen, that flag was made like that. It was made to have the effect that's waving." So everybody, I guess, started to believe that too.
That doesn't make sense.
Which I don't. It kind of does in a way, right? But
How does
to
it make
like,
sense? I mean, I don't understand.
because the flag, it's always waving, right? The American
With
flag
air.
here
Yeah,
in
but
Earth.
with air, yeah.
Yeah, but over there, so I guess they wanted to give it the same effect up there, you know what I mean?
Well, how if there's no air?
Right, that's what I'm saying. They wanted to give the same effect. So they made the flag kind of with like looking like it's waving.
Oh, you're talking about
Like-
they
like-
made it.
Right.
They made a wavy flag.
Yes.
Stiff.
Yes.
It's good. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
But you didn't see it actually moving. Then.
no.
You just see the waves.
Right, it's
The shape.
Yeah, it's just the shape,
Okay.
depending on I guess the angle of the camera.
Yeah.
You catch that effect on it.
Well, that's possible. They made a
It-
wavy flag.
Yeah, it's possible. There's no denying it because
Right.
common sense and logic, right? You're able to manufacture
Yeah,
anything,
that
so
could
why
be
not?
manufactured, right?
But my common sense and logic would be like, well, wait a minute. If you're saying there's no air up there, then why would you want to have a waving flag? That
Yeah.
doesn't go.
I think, like you said, just for the effect. That way, look, that's what everybody's used to.
Wow,
But otherwise, it's just gonna be, the pole's gonna be there and the flag's just gonna be dropped down with you can't see it, you know.
Well, yeah. Not only that, but it wouldn't.
Unless they put wires,
It wouldn't
but
have.
just straight.
It wouldn't have matter. It's just a flag. It's just a board, a flat board, and standing there. However they planted that thing, whatever was holding it up,
Yeah,
it's just there. That would have been it.
the
but
board. You said.
but they this flies.
The board.
Yeah, it's a board, and
But they didn't do it that way though.
well, they made the effect
Yeah.
with the waves. So, but okay, so that doesn't make any sense. And then how do they know the whole distance? How do they know how much fuel that they need? How much?
Well,
I mean,
that's why scientists are there. You know, scientists, I'm sure, figure it out.
no, yeah, I'm pretty sure they did, but
Yeah.
I'm wondering how is it that they figured it out, because they obviously haven't been out there.
Yeah.
So how do you calculate the distance? If you haven't been to
Yeah.
someplace, how do you calculate how far or how close it is?
Yeah.
Right? So
I mean,
that's questionable.
there's geniuses out there, mathematicians that could figure that out. So I believe in that.
Okay.
I believe there's people that do formulas and they figure it out. You know,
No,
there's geniuses, man.
I get
Yeah.
it. But my whole point is, how do you measure how far you are? That's the thing.
That's what they do. That they angles and they figure it out. I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
That's way more advanced than I am. I'm a mathematician, or I'm sure they could figure it out.
yeah, I have no doubt,
Yeah.
because I mean, Einstein was into that, right?
Yeah.
So there's
Yeah,
no
I
denying
mean-
whatever he did. But my thing still, like, you have to know the distance to calculate that,
Yeah.
and then you have to know how much fuel you need to get
Yeah.
up there. And so how do they measure that? And yes, I understand what you're saying. You know, they calculated the distance. Now they have to calculate how much fuel they need, and
Mhm.
that's still up in the air for me. It just doesn't make any sense. I mean, they can't figure out how to make a fast train enough here on Earth to go from here to Vegas.
Yeah.
So why is it so difficult? You know what I mean? If you
Right.
can figure that out, why can't you figure something down here?
Yeah. There's a lot of when it comes to that. There's a lot of red tape and a lot of politics are involved when you're trying to get something going. You know, like the bullet train. You know,
Yeah. Well, that's
there's a lot of stuff that goes into
that's a whole political thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like, those are my questions. Those would be like the obvious question: why haven't we done it? Why is there a big gap in between when we first did it,
Yeah. That doesn't that
and now that you have
that
technology?
raises a red flag for sure.
Yeah, now that you have that technology,
55 years later, we're so much more advanced. Why haven't we gone back?
Yeah.
What you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. So that's my common sense and logic on that.
Right.
There isn't too much about it, and it doesn't really matter, you know what I mean? But I kind of know why they did it
Mhm.
back then. It was like
It was a race to the moon between Russia and the United States.
yeah, that's what I heard too. Yeah, exactly. So whatever they would gain out of doing that, then that's fine,
Hmm.
But that's just my question. Like, how do they ever do that, and how do they get back? Going, you know.
Yeah, my biggest question, yeah, how do they get back? I guess I'm gonna have to research it. I'm
Yeah.
sure there's an explanation.
Well, I'm pretty sure you're gonna get an explanation, but then we go back to, like, well, how do you know they're saying the truth?
Yeah, but I just gotta read the explanation.
Yeah, of course,
first.
of
I would
course.
have to read the explanation.
Oh, you always do that, right?
Yeah.
You always need to do that so you can kind of see both sides of the coin, per
Right.
se. That's a good idea.
I guess it's something that I've never really taken the time and like it really, to me, it's not gonna change my life whether we landed on the moon or not. You know.
No,
That's why I've never
definitely not.
investigated. But yeah, now it piqued my interest. I'll look at the explanation. How did the shuttle get back?
Yeah.
I'd be interested in seeing what the explanation is. But yeah, it's gonna be up to me whether I believe it or not. You know, there's a lot of stuff that they just lie about.
Right, and remember, we're not talking about, like, who's right and who's wrong. It's a simple, I guess, like, example of how to use your common sense and logic, and,
Right.
and question things
And raise
like
questions,
that.
yeah.
And make you think, right? So that
Correct.
way you don't fall victim to all the lies and BS you hear.
Right.
You have to kind of, like, if you like doing that kind of stuff, right? I mean, you should anyways, because after all, it plays out in every single way possible in your life, whether you like it or not. It goes back to the political pipe, so.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's my take on that. Hopefully people out there give us their opinion, and maybe they know better
Yeah,
than
they're
us.
probably a little more knowledgeable. I'm sure there's people that are aware of more details. So send us the details. I'm gonna look it up too. That way I know a little more about it. But that was just something to bring up, to use our common sense and logic
Yeah.
to come figure it out. Is it true or not?
Right. I mean, you have Elon Musk now, and this guy's a brainiac. You know what I mean? Like, damn, he knows all this stuff.
Yeah.
So
if
I
anybody
think-
could do it, he could do it.
I think he could do it. Like I said, technology is so advanced now that I think that if they really want to, they could go anywhere now.
Right.
But yeah, that's pretty much it on this subject. If you guys want to give us your feedback and not really your opinions, because what is that? You know what I mean? People are gonna say your opinions. We want something more solid,
Yeah.
more common sense and logic.
If you got facts, I guess, or if you're using, like you said, your common sense and logic to have an answer to the question.
Yeah, I'm not here to dismiss what I hear. We need your help too. You know, maybe we're not using our common sense and logic here, so help us out and drop some knowledge on us.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, but I do understand that there are other countries that have taken picture of our flag that on the moon
Okay.
with with, I guess, they send out satellites or orbits or whatever that take pictures.
Yeah.
So my understanding, there are photographs. Okay, their flag is on the moon,
Uh huh.
saying that.
Okay.
Have you heard anything about that?
No, I
No.
haven't. I haven't looked into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, those satellites are another thing that I'm, I'm not really too fond of. I'm not sure how that works. I mean, at this point, they could tell us whatever they want, and we're like, okay, yeah, sure.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
not that. I mean, we don't have. That's not our field of expertise, so we don't. Like you said, you don't know about satellites.
Right.
I don't know about satellite. I don't know about other stuff either. But question it, I guess. Try to figure out whether it's real or not. Just don't
Well,
take them for their word.
I don't want to get, I don't want to branch out to different subjects, right? But my common sense and logic would be like, if you got this satellites way out there and they're supposed to work and all that, then how come the technology down here that's more closer to what we have around doesn't really function the way it should 100%? So
Like what?
for them to tell me, look, man, we need to have satellites way out there, thousands of miles away. I mean, it could be even millions of miles away. So
Right.
how does that work? And then my cell phone doesn't
Yeah.
doesn't really
Um,
function all the time.
They're
I mean, it's-
they're separate things. Yeah.
I guess, but yeah, that's just my common sense and logic there. Like I said, if you guys have better common sense and logic, help me out here. That's something that I really don't understand. But if you're gonna come out and say like, look, these are guys that know science and mathematics and all that, I'm still gonna have a hard time believing that, because now you have to depend on someone else's information, right?
Yeah.
And how are you gonna dismiss that if you really don't know what they're talking about? So of course you're gonna have to believe it.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at with common sense and logic. And like I said, there's other examples that we could branch off to, but I don't want to do that right now.
Right.
Confuse people with it.
Yeah. Just stick to the subject.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, short subject, just simple topic we threw out there, Landing on the moon, what do you guys think? Did we do it or not?
Yeah, did we do it the first time? Have we done it again? And if we have done it again, why was there a big gap in between when we had that technology? So that's pretty much it. That's what I want to know.
Right.
Uh,
If that's the case, yeah. If we haven't attempted or gone back to the moon, yeah. 55 years later, if we were able to do it in 1969, why is it so hard to go back?
exactly. Yeah, so that's it.
All right.
A short video. I hope you guys like it. And as always, thank you for tuning in. And drop a line, a like, and your comments. Remember, negative or positive, they're more than welcome.
Yeah, leave your comments and feedback, man. We enjoy reading your feedback.
And please subscribe. So I don't think you guys have to pay for that, right? So subscribe. Not only helps us out to it gives us the encouragement to keep doing this.
To continue, yeah.
Yeah, because we can have these talks, without the camera, but we decided to maybe challenge people out there to use their common sense and logic,
Right.
and help each other out. So this isn't not about us being right and you guys being wrong, or vice versa. Remember, it's just common sense and logic. What makes more sense? That's pretty much it.
That's exactly it.
All
All right,
right.
guys.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember, common sense and logic. If you have it, you know what we're talking about. If you don't have it, and you're lost, and you gotta lose us.
We'll catch you next time, man.
All right. Thank you so much.
See
Peace.
you guys.
That was a short one. I mean, there isn't too much there.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not too knowledgeable. Like I said, I'll do my research now, but they've never really like told me whether